ABS-CBN, kanina po ay may pending tayong katanungan kung kailan nyo may susumite yung minutes po ng arbitration court. At yung pwera po sa arbitration ruling ay yung minutes at yung procedures po ng arbitration court. Meron po ba kayong may bibigay na kasagutan, Mr. Carlo Katigbak?
Mr. Chair, I'd just like to request the committee to recognize that these documents are over 30 years old at nahirapan po kaming hanapin ang kompletong proceedings. We will continue to exercise diligence to try and secure whatever documents we can find and submit it to the committee at the soonest time possible po.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Katigbak. Sa madaling salita po ba, kung bibigyan namin kayo hanggang bukas, kasi bukas po yung unang napagkasunduan natin, hindi nyo pa maibibigay bukas?
Malamang hindi po.
Sige po. Hindi daw po maibibigay ng ABS-CBN yung hinahanap nating dokumento, pero meron naman po tayong imbitadong guest ngayong araw na ito na mismong miyembro ng arbitration court o arbitration committee. The chairman hears the presence of Attorney C. Attorney C, nandyan po ba kayo? Nandyan po ba si Attorney C? Isa sa mga original na membro ng 30-year-old na arbitration court. Attorney C? Paki-unmute po yung inyo pong mikropono. Ayan, umikot-ikot na si Attorney C. Magandang tanghali po, ma'am. Attorney C, pwede po ba kayo magpakilala po sa harapan ng committee ito? Attorney C, hindi po namin kayo marinig. Pwede po bang isenyas nyo na lang pagka po kayo nag-approve ay ibig sabihin ay kaya nyong maibigay. Pagka po kayo ay nag-thumbs down ay hindi nyo po kayang maibigay yung dokumentong hinihingi po namin. Naiintindihan nyo po, Attorney C? Hearing suspended.
Mr. Chairman.
May tsura ko. Umiikot nga daw ako.
Hearing resumed. Attorney C, naririnig po namin kayo dyan ngayon.
Yes.
Kami po ba naririnig niyo po ng maayos dyan sa inyong bahay?
Naririnig po ng maayos.
Okay, Attorney C, pwede po bang magpakilala po kayo sa committee ito?
Yes, ako po si Attorney Bel Cici. Ako po yung former secretary ng Board of Arbitrators. But I would like to respectfully request for the committee to give me more time to refresh my memory dun po sa nangyari, because I just received the invitation an hour ago before the start of the committee hearing. So, actually po, ang participation ko lang talaga dito sa Board of
Attorney C,
Arbitration.
excuse me po. Tinanong ko lang po kayo kung pwede po kayo magpakilala sa committee ito. At ang susunod ko pong katanungan para po hindi po kayo masyadong mahirapan, ay pwede niyo po bang mabigyan ang joint committee na ito ng lahat ng minutes noong pong nangyaring arbitration procedures or proceeding? Attorney C?
Sa totoo lang po, wala akong kopya ng records because that was how many decades ago, Your Honors. So actually, ang meron lang po akong kopya which was given to me by Angel, the staff of the House Committee, was a photocopy po noong yung kopya ng decision. Actually, it could hardly be read kasi ang labo pa. So actually, I'm requesting for a copy of yung decision from Attorney Dong Rendor. And then I would like to just authenticate it kasi ako po ang nag-authenticate as certified true copy nung decision. So, yung po yun.
Mr. Chair, may I...
Yes, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta.
Attorney C, kayo po yung secretary nung nag-arbitrate na pinag-uusapan namin dito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Kabisado po naman ninyo yung proceedings kung ano yung arbitration, hindi po ba?
Sa totoo lang po, yung if I recall it correctly, meron pong a board of arbitrators was formed with the attorney Oscar Garcia representing the government and former Justice Amborfina Melencio Herrera as the chair and Mr. Andres Bautista as the nominee of ABS-CBN.
Sino po yung nagte-take po ng mga minutes kapag ka po nagko-conduct ng arbitration proceedings?
Ako po yung nagtitake down ng minutes.
Nasa inyo po yung mga record ng transcript of stenographic notes. Nasa inyo pa po.
Wala na po, Your Honors, because hindi na po ako connected with the Office of the Government Corporate
Hindi
Counsel.
po, nung kayo po yung secretary, natapos po ba yung arbitration?
Natapos po siya.
Okay. Nasa inyo po ba yung record? Ganito na lang po, kasi karaniwan po, pagkatapos na maihayag yung rules ng arbitration ng arbiter, kung sino man yun, i-require po niya yung partido, karaniwan po para mapadali, either position paper o kaya memorandum. So, nag-submit po ba yung dalawang panig ng either position paper or a memorandum? Pagkaraan po ng ilang panahon, yun po ang titingnan ng arbiter at mula dun sa dalawang pleadings na yun, gagawa po siya ng desisyon. Yun po ang tinatawag na arbitral award. Dahil po yung proceedings na yan ay napaka-importante, yan po ay in-initiate ng dating Pangulong Cory Aquino para mapag-alaman talaga o malaman ng sino man kung talagang nakapag-present ng evidence ang ABS-CBN. Ito po kasi yung nakalatag doon sa statement ni Attorney Almeida Lopez na kinailangan pala yung arbitration. Yun lamang po kasing record na yun ang makapagpapatunay kung talagang na-establish po ng ABS-CBN ang kanilang pagmimayari. Nandun po yun dun sa arbitral award. So, meron po ba kayong hawak nung pleadings ng dalawang partido at mula doon ay nagkaroon ng ruling na arbitral award para yun po ang isubmit niyo sa amin para naman makita namin? Meron po ba kayong ganung record?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, wala po.
Salamat po.
Although meron pong position paper pero wala po akong hawak na document.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney C. Yes, Vice Chairman Mike Defensor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, again, ilirin ko lang po yung binabanggit ni Deputy Speaker Marcoleta. Bukod po dun sa pag-establish ng ownership which she was asking last night, gusto niya makita yung mismo mga dokumento kung ano yung naging pamamaraan ng arbitration. Ito rin po yung tinanong ko kanina. and in line with the questions of Congressman Barsaga, Attorney Almeida is still here. Ulit po, magandang hapon po sa inyo. Doon po sa, papaliwanag ko lang po yung nangyayari. Kasi po doon sa binabanggit na usapin, nagkaroon ng arbitration agreement. Ang lumalabas po, matapos ang pagbalik ng ABS-CBN, gobyerno pa ho ang nagkaroon ng utang. Batay po diyan doon sa renta ng RPN 9 na binabanggit, at pagkatapos po diyan merong kailangan din bayaran yung ABS-CBN based on doon sa agreement nila. Ang naging suma total, of course non-cash po to, ito po yung nagkaroon ng pagbayad ang gobyerno pa sa ABS-CBN. Kaya po kahapon tinanong ko, sabi ko, hindi ho ba tiningnan yung mga pasilidades, yung mga broadcast equipment tungkol dito? Ang lumalabas, sinasabi ni SEC, is SEC, nandito po ba ang SEC? I'm sorry, PCGG, Commissioner Jan Agbayani. Kanina ho, binanggit nyo, Commissioner Jan, na hindi kayo binayaran ng renta magmula 1986 hanggang 1992. Tama po ba?
Based po sa, Your Honor, based po sa records ng PCGG, wala pong pumasok na payment arising out of that September 15, 1986 contract of lease.
Okay, pero kayo po yung nagmamayari ng mga properties na yan, ng mga panahon na yan. Bakit to hindi nyo ipinaglaban, bigla na lang na turn over itong mga equipment?
Ang pagkaalam ko po, based on record, meron hong negotiation on the amount of the lease rental of 1.2 million pesos per month. That was a stalled negotiation, and then it was overtaken by the compromise agreement of Roberto Benedicto in 1992. So mula po nung nagkaroon na po ng compromise agreement, nagkasabay din ata po yung compromise agreement sa arbitration, at ang based on my investigation from the old people in PCGG a week ago, ABS-CBN was not mentioned or was not an issue. All they know is there is a compromise agreement between the government and ABS-CBN, and it is not an issue in PCGG anymore. And since then, well, hindi na po nag-surface po yung ABS-CBN assets na yan.
Okay. Ito pong equipment na ito, nung nasa inyo pa, kasi para lang maliwanagan yung mga nanonood, yung equipment po na ito, sinequester ninyo. Equipment po yan ng DBC, yung Banao Broadcasting Corporation. Ito pong equipment na to, ginagamit ng ABS-CBN, at batay po dyan, nagkaroon ng renta. Yung renta po, from 86 to 92, hindi binayaran. Kasi po, kaya yung cut-off date is 92. Was it because of the compromise agreement?
There was no compromise agreement yet during that time because it was entered into in 1986. Coincidental lang na nagkaroon ng compromise agreement si Mr. Benedicto noong October 2, 1992. Yung term ng lease is 1987 to 1992.
Okay, pero kung nagkaroon man pa kayo ng compromise agreement, yung pong compromise agreement na yun, hindi po sa ABS-CBN at BBC, kundi BBC, Benedicto, with PCGG.
Correct, Your Honor.
Nagkaroon po kayo ng compromise agreement.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, sinurrender po sa inyo itong mga equipment.
Hindi ho equipment, kundi it vested ownership on BBC. Parang sinurrender ho ang BBC, IBC at saka RPN in favor of the government. General lang po yung surrender of these assets to the government.
At yung po mga asset na yan, kasama rin po yan. Kasi at that time, state of the art ang asset ng BBC. Tama po ba?
Yes po. Kasama dapat lahat ng pag-aari ng BBC. So, logically, if Benedicto surrendered BBC in favor of the national government, then all its properties, assets are included in that surrender.
Ito pong equipment na to napunta sa ABS-CBN.
Opo. Yes, Your Honor.
Binayaran po ba kayo?
It was a lease contract in favor of ABS-CBN.
Yes.
Pero ngayon, wala pa pong bayad sa record po namin sa PCGG. Wala pong bayad sa amin na ang ABS-CBN.
So magmula po sa lease contract at saka yung actual purchase of agreement, hindi po kayo nabayaran.
Sa record po namin, wala po.
Yun po ba ay mali?
Based on records po, tama po kayo na walang bayad sa amin.
Oho, pero yung pong ganun bang biglang nawala na lang sa inyo, sa inyong proseso at batas, meron po kayong proclamation number 50. Yan po ba'y pumasok sa regulasyon ng batas?
Yung pag-dispose po ng equipment na yan, kung inaamin po ng ABS-CBN na yan po ay part ng agreement nila na binalik sa kanila ng gobyerno, based dun sa proclamation number 50 which regulates the disposal of assets of government, hindi po nasunod yon. Hindi po dumaan yung disposal ng assets na yan through a regular procedure at the assets were disposed of through the executive secretary during that time. Normally po sa PCGG, pag yung sequestered asset na-lift and then the ownership of the sequestered asset is transferred to the national government, to PCGG for example, we will sell and dispose this asset through the Committee on Privatization. Centralized po kasi ang disposal ng asset eh. So, yung mga na-recover naming asset, binibenta po namin yan through the Committee on Privatization. Now, in the case of ABS-CBN in 1992, ang the law that governs the disposal during that time was yung Committee on Privatization ang nagbebenta. Sa ngayon, ang nagbebenta ay yung Privatization Council.
Kaya nga po, so, Commissioner Agbayani, ang nangyari po sa inyo, yung po mga equipment na to, bigla na lang nawala sa inyo na hindi nyo sinusundan yung proseso na gumagabay sa inyong ahensya at ibinalik lang sa ABS-CBN nang hindi dumaan sa tamang proseso.
Based po sa record namin, hindi ho na-record yung proseso na yan. Bigla lang nawala. Wala hong record sa amin na yan binenta at ang proceeds binigay sa amin. Hindi ho dumaan sa regular procedure na yan.
And do you assert that hanggang ngayon dapat bayaran yung utang na yan? Yung renta ng equipment?
Kung unless we are refuted by contrary evidence, the only evidence that we have and document is the lease agreement up to the present, and these rentals coming from that contract has never been paid based on our record.
Thank you for that, Commissioner Agbayani. Ngayon po, ito yung medyo critical po na tanong ko dito, dagdag dun sa equipment. Meron po akong letter ni Commissioner Dormal na ang sinasabi niya sa Banao Broadcasting Corporation, please be advised by the authority of the President of the Philippines, decided at its regular meeting, June 10, 1986, to allow ABS-CBN Broadcasting the use of the following sequestered assets. And Commissioner Agbayani, I hope you can listen with what I'm going to say. Ito pong radio frequencies, DWOK 630 kHz Metro Manila and DWW 101 MHz Metro Manila. Tama po ba yan?
Opo, 101.9.
Ang ibig niyo pong sabihin, to date, kayo nagmamay-ari, kasi ito po yung DCMM na radio signal, na ito po yung pagmamay-ari ng gobyerno at hindi pribado? Commissioner Bayani, ang question ko po is, based on this letter, ang sinasabi po nito is that you are allowing, because sequestered asset to ng Banahaw Broadcasting Corporation, ABS-CBN, no, the sequestered assets to be used by ABS-CBN, DWOK 630 kHz Metro Manila, and DWW 101 MHz Metro Manila. Yan po ba dito sa batay sa sulat na ito, kayo po nagmamay-ari?
Based po dun sa compromise agreement ng October 2, 1992, when Roberto S. Benedicto vested ownership of BBC to the government, logically, all assets and frequencies should belong to the.
Yes, I agree. But you allowed ABS-CBN in 1986 to use DWK 630 and DWW 101. Are you saying therefore that based on the records of PCGG, that in fact you are the owners of these radio frequencies? Kayo may-ari ng, particular dito kasi 630 MHz is DCMM. Yun po ba ang sinasabi niyo dito? Commissioner Agbayani? Nakamute po ata si Commissioner Agbayani, si Attorney siyang nakikita po natin.
Yes, Your Honor. In 1986, there was that letter to allow the temporary use of these frequencies and I think TB2 in favor of ABS-CBN. That was still sequestered during that time.
Mr. Chairman, very critical po to our ABS-CBN friends na ilabas niyo po yung dokumento na hiningi ni Congressman Marcoleta. Because based on record, yung binabasa po natin sa ngayon at kung ito'y pagbabatayan natin, number one, kung doon po sa compromise agreement, hindi isinama ang renta ng ABS-CBN sa Banahaw Broadcasting Corporation ng equipment, lumalabas po may utang pa kayong hindi nabayaran. Kung hindi po, kasi ito pong compromise agreement, hindi po nakasaad doon yan. Pangalawa po, kung hindi po nakasaad sa inyong compromise agreement or sa arbitration agreement na in-uphold ng korte na yung DWOK 630 kHz and DWW 101 MHz, hindi po nakasama yan sa pagbabalik o ibinigay sa ABS-CBN as kasamahan sa pag-uusap ng kompromiso or compromise agreement, ako po'y naniniwala na ito din po'y dapat bumalik sa gobyerno. Wala po akong sinasabi, yan po'y batay sa maraming salamat, Commissioner Agbayani, sa iyong mga pagsagot. At yan po'y na-sign nyo po na po sa ABS-CBN para patunayan na ito po ang katotohanan at kung ano man po yung assertion tungkol sa utang at sa radio frequencies ay totoong sa inyo nagmamay-ari. Salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat, Vice Chairman Mike Defensor. Yes, ABS-CBN.
Kung pwede lang pong sagutin ang tanong
Sige po,
ni Congressman Mike. Unang-una po yung frequency po. A frequency cannot be owned by a private company. It can merely be assigned by the NTC for your use. And dito po sa provisional authority na which was granted by the NTC on June 11, 2008. With your permission, Mr. Chair, I'll just read a quick summary. Wherefore, there appears to be no pending case or proceeding which puts in issue the ownership of petitioner, ABS-CBN po. A provisional authority to operate and maintain DWXS-TV using the frequency of channel 2, 101.9 megahertz and 630 kilohertz, all serving Metro Manila area, predicated on its franchise under Republic Act 7966. was granted for use by ABS-CBN po. So that's contained under the provisional authority granted by the NTC. Doon naman po sa rentals, I think it's quite clear in the arbitration agreement that the compromise agreement shall constitute the full and final settlement of any and all claims which the parties may have against each other. Not only in this case, but also in, there's another case being referred to, the lease agreement with RPN and BBC referred to herein.
Maraming
Mr. Chair.
salamat, ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chair,
Katibak,
Yes, Vice Chairman Defensor.
yes, Mr. Katibak, just mabilis lang po na pagsagot dahil tama ho kayo, wala namang may-ari ng frequency kundi ang gobyerno pa rin. Pero based on this 1986 letter, iyon po'y pinapagamit hindi sa ABS-CBN kundi sa Banahaw Broadcasting Corporation as clarified by PCGG. At batay po sa sulat na to, ipinapahiram lamang sa ABS-CBN. Kaya yun po yung kailangan nating iklaro. Kahit na po sabihin ng ABS, pinayagan kami, pag nag-assert po ang PCGG, batay dito sa dokumentong to, baka humatanggal sa ABS-CBN. So, kailangan po natin makita yung papel tungkol doon. Doon naman po sa mga litigation, doon na rin po sa pagsalita ng pananalita ng ating PCGG, they were never part of the compromise agreement. Ibig pong sabihin, doon po sa proseso nilang sarili, hindi nagkaroon ng maayos na pamaraan para mailabas yung pagmamay-ari ng kanilang mga equipment o ng kanilang mga gamit. Again, pwede po magkaroon ng problema doon sa, although it's the Republic of the Philippines, but the PCGG process kung saan kinuha itong mga gamit at binigay sa ABS-CBN, baka po lang magka-problema. Kaya lang po ini ko Mr. Katigbak, again, I would like to assert na ito naman po hindi galing sa aking sariling pananaw, kundi ito po'y nanggaling na rin doon sa pananalita at mga dokumento ng PCGG. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Maraming salamat, Congressman Defensor. Yes, Congressman Barsaga.
base po sa mga asunto na aking nabasa at ikukumpirma naman to ni Commissioner Agbayani, nagkaroon ng compromise agreement ang PCGG at si Mr. Roberto Benedicto tungkol sa kanyang mga ari-arian na sinequester ng PCGG. Tama po ba yun?
ABS-CBN.
No.
PCGG.
PCGG.
Yes, Your Honor.
As a matter of fact, that compromise agreement was submitted to the Sandigan Bayan, which paved the way for the dismissal of the criminal cases for sequestration against Roberto Benedicto. Tama po ba yun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mabibigyan niyo po kami ng kopya ng inyong compromise agreement para makita namin kung ano ang mga properties na binalik sa national government at baka kasama riyan yung mga Banahaw Broadcasting at iba pang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon.
Opo. We will submit you.
So we will expect a copy of that compromise agreement. Anyway, this is a public record. This is a public document submitted in the proceedings before the Sandigan Bayan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congressman Sarate.
May be allowed also to propound clarificatory questions.
Sige po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kay Commissioner Agbayani, nabanggit niyo po na mayroong compromise agreement ang PCGG at si Mr. Benedicto. Tama po ba yun?
Opo, Your Honor.
Ito po ba ay the same compromise agreement na ang subject po ba nito ay the same doon sa compromise agreement na pinasok ng ABS-CBN under doon sa arbitration proceedings headed by then Attorney Amorfina Melencio Herrera na inapprove ng korte?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Marcoleta.
the best evidence are the records. Mr. Chair, I'm
Opo.
tabulating here. This is my time.
Pinaniniwalaan po natin na the best evidence are the records.
Mr. Chair,
Ngunit payagan po natin na ipagpatuloy ni Congressman Zarate ang kanyang
Hindi
pagtatanong.
po kasi ganito eh. Thank you, Mr. Chair. So kung alam po ng Commissioner ng PCGG, ito po ba ay magkapareho ang pinag-uusapan sa compromise agreement na ito?
Sinabi ko po kahapon na we were not privy to the compromise agreement in the arbitration proceedings. In fact, kinukuha pa ho namin yung kopya kung ano yung laman ng compromise agreement na yon. At definitely, it is not the same as the compromise agreement entered into by PCGG and Roberto S. Benedicto.
Salamat po, Commissioner. As we speak now, nakita nyo na po yung compromise agreement na naging arbitral award ng arbitration board na na-create between the government of the Philippines and ABS-CBN. Nakita nyo na po ang kopya nun.
Hindi ko pa po nakita. Pero more or less alam ko yung laman, yung brief based on the
Salamat po.
information gathered.
Salamat po, Commissioner. So, ibig pong sabihin, dahil hindi nyo pa nakita, lahat na sinabi nyo kanina, na opinion ninyo related dito sa compromise agreement na ito, ay isang opinion lamang at base lamang doon sa kung ano ang iintindihan ninyo na pinag-iusapan dito dahil hindi nyo po nabasa ang buong dokumento. Tama po ba yon, Commissioner?
Wala ho akong judgment sa compromise agreement na yan dahil hindi ko pa po nabasa.
Kanina po, by the way, kailan po ba nabuo ang Presidential Commission on Good Government? Just for the record, Commissioner.
Noong February 28, 1986.
February 28,
1986.
1986. At meron ho kayong nabanggit kanina na kapangyarihan na mag-sequester. Kailan po na i-issue itong kapangyarihang ito ng PCGG na pwede silang makapag-sequester ng gamit ng mga pinagdududahang nakaw na yaman or mga kaduda-dudang mga properties ng kapanahunan ng rehimen ni Marcos?
Batay po yun sa Executive Order number 1 na in-issue po ni Pangulong Corazon Aquino noong February 28, 1986.
Thank you, Commissioner. Kanina po, nasa Zoom na kayo at naging resource person natin si dating Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile. At siguro po ay malinaw na narinig ninyo na noong February 26, no? Dahil siya rin yung nag-issue ng siya nag-implement ng sequestration ata nung panahon ng martial law. Sinabi niya kanina noong February 26, 1986, he issued an order lifting the sequestration of the assets of ABS-CBN. Narinig niyo po ba yun, Commissioner?
Opo.
At batay po doon, malinaw na isinaad niya na by that time, no, kasi February 28 po yung sinabi ninyong pagkabuo ng PCGG. February 26, sinabi niya na by that time, na-lift yung sequestration ng assets ng ABS-CBN.
Your Honor, hindi po naman na-sequester yung assets ng ABS-CBN eh. Ang sinabi ko nga kanina, yung Ministry Order number A-003 na in-issue po ni dating Minister Juan Ponce Enrile, ang sakop po lamang noong sequestration order na yon ay DBC, RPN at IBC. Kaya po sa tingin ko, hindi na siguro kailangan na i-lift niya yung sequestration dahil hindi naman na-sequester ho yung ABS-CBN.
Salamat po. But nonetheless, yun po ang malinaw na binanggit ng dating Senate President Enrile. At kayo na rin po ang nagsabi na hindi naman na-sequester ang assets ng ABS-CBN. Katunayan, sabi ninyo kanina ang na-sequester ay ang assets ng BBC, IBC, and RPN. Nagkataon lamang na merong mga properties doon, no, na nakalist sa BBC, properties ng ABS-CBN, no, na in the course of the sequestration of the Benedicto assets, dahil nasa posisyon nila yon nung panahon na yon, ay naisama yung properties ng ABS-CBN. Tama po ba ang pagkaintindi ko doon sa nabanggit ninyo kanina, Commissioner Agbayani?
Opo.
Tama po. So, effectively, kayo po ay sumasang-ayon na by February of 1986, ay may mga properties na, ang mga properties ng ABS-CBN ay naibalik na sa kanilang possession and control bilang mga may-ari po ng mga properties na ito na na-sequester nga noong panahon or kinuha at kinontrol ng rehimen ni Marcos noong panahon ng martial law, Mr. Commissioner Agbayani.
Congressman, medyo hindi ko po narinig yung tanong. Pakiulit lang po.
Ulitin ko po. Sumasang-ayon po kayo kung sasabihin ko na noong February 1986, ang mga ari-arian ng mga Lopezes, no? Kasama na ang mga ari-arian sa ABS-CBN na kinuha at kinontrol ng administrasyon ng rehimen ni Marcos noong panahon ng martial law ay naibalik na sa kanila noong February of 1986. Tama po ba ang statement na yon? Dahil kayo na rin po ang nagsabi, they were even sequestered.
Nung hindi na sequester yung ABS-CBN po, pero yung possession po kasi ng mga equipment na yan nandun sa BBC, RPN and IBC 13. Kaya lahat ng mga assets na yon na under BBC, RPN, IBC 13 were subject of sequestration, and pending the determination as to the rightful owner of these assets, hindi ho makuha ng ABS-CBN yon. Kasi wala pa pong final resolution or adjudication on the ownership of these assets which were subject of sequestration.
Yes, but kayo na rin po nagsabi na there is no need, in fact, for Senator Enrile or then Minister Enrile to lift the order of sequestration dahil hindi naman na sequester yung mga assets ng ABS-CBN. Tama po ba yung statement niyo kanina?
Tama po yun in the sense na hindi nga na-sequester yung ABS-CBN, but let's consider the consequences of the sequestration order as requested by PCGG. It subjected all equipment under BBC, RPN, and IBC 13. And as directed by PCGG on the board of administrators, no, of the BBC, dapat magkaroon ng final adjudication doon sa mga assets na yon as to ownership before we can actually return to the rightful owner these assets.
Thank you, Commissioner Agbayani. In June of 1995, ang PCGG po ba ay existing pa or disbanded na?
Hanggang ngayon po, buhay pa po kami.
Yes, tama po. Hanggang ngayon, there were attempts na kayo ay buwagin na sa pamamagitan ng pagpapasa ng batas, ay hindi ho na ituloy yun. No? Dahil katunayan, isa ako doon sa tumututol na buwagin na ang PCGG. So, also in April 1995, no? Para po sa kaalaman ng ating mga kababayan at sa kay Commissioner Agbayani, ang desisyon po ng Board of Arbitrators na binubuo ng dating naging maestrado rin, no? Amerpina Melencio Herrera, Oscar Garcia at Andres Bautista, nilabas po nila ang kanilang desisyon, no, noong May 23, 1995. At I suppose, alam ng PCGG ito nung panahon na yon that there is already a compromise agreement, and that compromise agreement was adopted by the Board of Arbitrators as its decision. Would you confirm that, Mr. Commissioner Agbayani?
I cannot, Your Honor, because I was not around during that time.
Of course, no? Dahil bago kayo. But at that time, aktibo pa rin ang PCGG sa kanyang function and duties sa usapin ng mga assets na under sequestration. Tama po ba yun?
Opo. But
Yes.
as I have said a while ago, there is no record about it in the PCGG
And
library.
Mr. Commissioner, you mentioned na nireview niyo naman yung records ng ninyo.
Opo.
As per your record, nakapaghain ba ng kahit na anong pleading, motion, or kaso ang PCGG para i-contest itong naging compromise agreement, no, or at desisyon ng Board of Arbitrators, which on June 23 of 1995 was also approved by Judge Salvador Abad Santos of RTC Makati. Sa inyong record po ba merong any pleading, any motion, any paper document contesting this decision of the Board of Arbitrators?
Wala po kaming nakita sa library namin, Your Honor.
And dahil sa inyong pong pagkakaalam, meron po bang ibang mga entities, personalities, or grupo na kinontest itong compromise agreement na ito entered into by ABS-CBN and the government, which, among others, as already mentioned kanina, shall constitute full and final settlement of any and all claims, whether present, future, or contingent, that ABS-CBN and MBS may have against the Republic, its instrumentalities or agencies, etc., etc.
Wala po ho akong alam dyan, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Commissioner Agbayani. So, Mr. Chair, yun lang po ang gusto kong linawin. No? Yung punto na yan, na itong compromise agreement na ito ay naging final and executory na. There was no appeal, or it was not contested to by the government or any of its agencies or instrumentalities. And it was the then Minister Enrile himself, and now former Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile, also affirmed here in this hearing na kahit na siya, he issued an order lifting the sequestration. But that's his, what was he said, the sequestration of the assets or the properties of ABS-CBN in February of 1986. Yun lang pong gusto kong malinaw. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chair.
Maraming salamat, Congressman Zarate. Yes, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta.
Mr. Chair, mga ilang tanong po sa official po ng PCGG. Magandang hapon po sa inyo.
Magandang hapon po.
Attorney Agbayani, tinatanong po kayo kanina ni Congressman Zarate, at isa po sa mga naisagot ninyo yung ilang mga kasangkapan o mga pasilidades ng ABS-CBN, nasama po dun sa BBC Channel 2 at nandun nga rin po yung RPN at saka IBC Television. Dito po sa Executive Order number 11, lumilitaw po na yung PCGG na pong nag-request sa temporary sequestration ng mga facilities na ito, sapagkat ang sinasabi po rito, marami ring puhunan ang naibigay ng gobyerno rito, lalong-lalo na yung mga finance and institutions, at kinakailangang hindi lamang masinop yung mga gamit, kung hindi mas importante, matukoy po kung sino yung tunay na pagmimay-ari. Ito po yung nilalaman ng Executive Order number 11, hindi po ba?
Opo.
At kung nasama po ang mga mahalagang mga gamit pa ng ABS-CBN, kasama po yun, nasama po yun doon sa executive order na yun, kailangan po masama sila sa proseso sa pagtutukoy ng tunay na pagmimiyari. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Ngayon po, kanina po tinatanong din kayo ni Congressman Zarate kung meron kayong kinalaman doon sa arbitration proceedings. At tama naman po yung sinabi ninyo, wala naman kayong personal knowledge doon. Kaya ang sabi nyo, wala po kayong may bibigay na paghatol doon sa mga tinatanong niya. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Dito po kasi sa salaysay ni Attorney Almeda Lopez, binabanggit po niya kasi ang kahalagahan ng isang arbitration proceedings. Kasi po ito ay nagmula mismo sa opisina ng dating Pangulong Cory Aquino. Ang katunayan po, gumawa nga po sila ng dalawang agreement to arbitrate. Yung una po, doon nakasalalay po yung lahat ng pagmimiyari ng ABS-CBN. 1987 po yon. Nagkaroon po ng pagbabago yon 1993 sapagkat sinama po nila yung mga iba pang claims, financial claims. Sa mga tweet po, para sa amin, dahil yun ay kautusan ng Pangulo at nabigyan naman ng pagkakataon ang ABS-CBN, para sa ganun, ipakita nila talaga ang mga katibayan ng pagmimayari. Kami po dito, inaasahan namin na may pipresenta nila yung records ng proceedings sapagkat ang sabi po sa salaysay, ang prosesong ito kailangan maging public, maging formal, and properly recorded. Kayo po ba sa opisya ninyo nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na makatanggap man lang ng records na ito kung sakasakali po?
Sa aming halungkat po ng records in order to serve the needs of these proceedings, wala ho kaming nakitang mga dokumento hinggil ho sa arbitration. Pinahanap ko na po yon. At sa halip, opo, salamat.
Ang katunayan nga po, pati yung sekretaryo o sekretary po nung arbitration, si Attorney C. ata po ang pangalan, sa pagtatanong ko kanina, wala rin po siyang record palang may bibigay sa amin. Sa makatwid, yun pong compromise agreement, baka sakali nga pong merong ganun eh. Pero po, ang amin pong hinahanap ay yung arbitral award sapagkat yun po ay kautusan na nanggaling sa Pangulo. Maaari pong masabi doon, among others, na yung mga litigants will enter into a compromise agreement. Malinaw po na yung disposition po ng arbitration, which will be a part of the arbitration award, maring sinasabi po dyan na ang partido pwedeng mag-compromise agreement. But unless and until they produce that particular document formalizing the need of a compromise agreement, the compromise agreement cannot be a substitute for the arbitral award. Tama po ba yun, Attorney?
Hindi ko po masyadong kabisado ang arbitration eh. Kaya, sorry po, hindi ko po masasagot yung sa procedure tungkol sa arbitration.
Pero naniniwala po ba kayo na yung compromise agreement should follow after the award? Kasi doon po natin makikita kung bakit nagkaroon ng compromise agreement. Kung wala naman pong nakalagay doon sa award mismo na magko-compromise agreement, ano pong pinagmulan noon? Yun lang po kasi yung hinahanap namin, yung tungkol sa record na yun. Napaka-importante po. The records will guide us. If ABS-CBN was able to convincingly, without any doubt, prove its ownership over the facilities claimed at that time. They have been given that opportunity. The arbitration should be there. The records should speak for themselves. Sa amin po, tatanggapin namin yun as basis for our judgment. But as it stands today, Attorney, not even ABS-CBN is in a position to categorically state for the record that they can present the records of the proceedings. Salamat po sa inyo, Attorney. May I continue another aspect?
Thank you.
Kahapon po kasi, Mr. Chair, nabanggit pa po yung yung kaso dito. Kung maalala po ninyo, yung pinagbatayan po ng mga timelines, dalawa pong kaso, yung ABS-CBN versus Ombudsman, and then Gascon versus Arroyo. Lumilitaw pa nga po ron na may sinabi si Attorney Rendon kahapon na sinabi pa nga po, natalo pa raw si chairman na yata ng Human Rights Committee ngayon, si Attorney Gascon. Ang issue po kasi doon, ang pagkakaalam ko po, Attorney Gascon was not questioning yung initiative na maibalik ang ABS-CBN. What was being questioned there, kung bakit gustong kunin ng ABS-CBN yung Channel 4. Hindi po kasi po pwede yun, Mr. Chair, in the light of Presidential Decree 576-A. Ang title po nito, Regulating the Ownership and Operation of Radio and Television Stations and for Other Purposes. Ang sabi po kasi doon, Mr. Chair, hindi po kasi pwedeng magmay-ari o mag-operate o mamalakad ng higit sa isa na radyo o television sa isang locality. May I ask ABS-CBN if they are familiar with Presidential Decree 576-A?
ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chair, can the question be repeated?
Are you familiar with Presidential Decree 576-A?
That's the Presidential Decree 576-A. I've read it, Your Honor.
And if you read this, under Section 3, it says, no person or corporation may own, operate, or manage more than one radio or television station in one municipality or city. Bakit po gusto pang kunin ng ABS-CBN noon ng Channel 4? Di po ba magiging dalawa ang pag-aari ninyo pagka nagkataon? Ito po ay ipinagbabawal ng Presidential Decree. Ang punto po nito ayaw po ni dating President Ferdinand Marcos na mayroong monopolyo. Yun po lang yung issue ng Gascon versus Arroyo, hindi po yung ABS-CBN. Kaya ang pinakadetalye nga po nito pati nga yung claim ninyo sa PTV4 o claim ninyo sa gobyerno, talagang dapat lang malagay talaga doon sa ayos Doon namin gustong makita ang lahat ng ito kung bakit magkakaroon ng compromise agreement. Hindi namin po babawalan kayo na magkaroon ng compromise agreement, provided the compromise agreement was based on that arbitral award. Malinaw po kasi na ang kabayo po kasi dapat mauna sa kalesa. Hindi po pwede yung kalesa, hihilain po ng kabayo. Mr. Chair, the devil, sabi nga nila, is in the details. The compromise agreement will be the details. Ano po pang gagalingan nun? Yung pong arbitration na pinanindigan nung sworn statement ni Attorney Augusto Almeda Lopez. Yun po yung dahilan kung bakit napaka-importante po ng record in order for us to be able to put a closure to this nagging, persisting issue of ownership. Salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Deputy Speaker Marcoleta. At bago ko po kilalanin si Congressman Edsel Lagman para sa kanyang maikling manifestation, ay i-reiterate lang po ng chairman ng committee ito na the committee secretary should exhaust all efforts para po makuha yung mga pleadings at minutes ng arbitration court na ginawa po para
Mr.
sa
Chair.
ABS-CBN.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Congresswoman Mickey Violago, kakasabi ko lang pong kikilalanin ko na si
Sandali
Congressman Lagman
1 minute lang po.
Sige po.
Point of lang po, inquiry to Commissioner. Kasi sabi nila dito kanina, February 28, 1986 nabuo ang PCGG. No po, tama po. And yet, nung time na ito, it was President Corazon Aquino na po. Kaya gusto ko lang po matanong sa PCGG. Bakit po wala silang record ng anumang arbitration agreement or documents? Si time ni President Corazon Aquino na ibalik sa ABS-CBN yung property nila. Tapos nung time din ni President Corazon Aquino din po, nabuo ang PCGG. Paano po nangyari na wala sila na anumang kopyang pinangahawakan samantalang nabuo sila nung panahon ng ating Presidente Corazon Aquino na siya din ang dahilan kung bakit naibalik sa Lopez ang ABS-CBN? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Congresswoman Biolago, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali ay nasagot na po kanina yan ni Commissioner Jan Agbayani, pero papayagan ko pong siya mismo ang sumagot ng inyong katanungan. Commissioner Jan Agbayani,
Salamat po.
recognized.
Kaya nga po, pag nakita po ninyo yung compromise agreement dyan po sa arbitration na yan, hindi po kasali ang PCGG. Kaya ko po sinabi na we are not privy to that compromise. Normally po, wala po kaming record sa opisina niyan eh. Normally po kayo, kasi yung mga, normally po, under regular process, pag ang isang asset o isang korporasyon ay na-sequester, and then later on, it becomes a surrendered asset because of a final judgment or a compromise agreement, ang susunod na proseso po dyan ang PCGG po ang nag-i-initiate ng disposal ng assets na yan through the Committee on Privatization. During this time, in 1992, when the alleged compromise in that arbitration took place, ang nagdi-dispose po ng assets ng PCGG noon ang Committee on Privatization, sila po nag-approve. Now, in this case of ABS-CBN, after the compromise agreement of Roberto Benedicto in October 2, 1992, which vested ownership on the assets of BBC, wala na pong disposal ang nangyayari in accordance with the regular process na may participation ang Committee on Privatization. So ang disposal na yan, kung yan naibalik man sa ABS-CBN, it was done through the arbitration. It was not done in accordance with the disposal process under Republic Act, I think Proclamation number 50, which created the Committee on Privatization. Kaya po siguro wala pong record sa amin yung disposal na yan.
Maraming salamat, Commissioner Agbayani. Congresswoman Biolago, meron pa po ba kayong idadagdag na katanungan?
Wala na po, Mr. Chair. Thank
Maraming
you.
salamat po at the chairman recognized Congressman Edsel Lagman for his brief manifestation.
Thank you, Joint Chairman. The following manifestation would be on the validity of the return to the Lopez family of the operations, facilities, and premises of ABS-CBN on the following grounds. 1, there is no constitutional provision in the 1987 Constitution which was violated when the premises, facilities, and operations of ABS-CBN were returned in 1986 by the Republic of the Philippines under the Cory Aquino presidency to the Lopez family as majority owners of said corporation. 2, the alleged violation is based on the claim that the Lopez family did not pay any compensation the Republic of the Philippines for reacquiring ABS-CBN. This argument is respectfully submitted to be flawed because of the following. A, the ownership of the Lopez family of ABS-CBN has long been established even before the declaration of martial law, and this remain unchallenged up to the post-EDSA People Power Revolution. And B, since the Lopez family as majority owners of ABS-CBN is the aggrieved party, it stands to reason that it should be the one to be compensated for the illegal seizure of ABS-CBN during martial law and the short takeover of the same by the Ramos and relief forces in the aftermath of the EDSA People Power Revolution, which latter brief takeover was subsequently permitted by the Lopez family only for the duration of the crisis or the emergency. 3, granting arguendo that there was any violation, the infraction was only civil in nature. However, any challenge or action has long prescribed after 34 years have elapsed following the subject return or reacquisition. The longest prescriptive period for filing an action under the new civil code is 30 years for the recovery of immovable or real property. In this case, 34 years have passed, for which reason prescription has irrevocably set in. But more importantly, no action has been filed questioning the subject return of ABS-CBN operations, facilities, and premises to the Lopez family. 4, the return of ABS-CBN to the Lopez family was not premature. It was demandable and seasonable since the Lopez family is the unquestioned majority owners of ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation. 5, the return was covered by legal orders or issuances like the following. A, tacit approval by the Office of the President granting the request of Senator Lorenzo Tañada in a letter dated April 17, 1986, that the operations, facilities, and premises of ABS-CBN be returned to the Lopez family, as subsequently ratified by the subsequent action of the Presidential Commission on Good Government, PCGG, an office created by the first executive order of President Corazon Aquino under EO number 1 dated 28 February 1986. And B, consequently, an order dated June 18, 1986 of the Presidential Commission on Good Government, PCGG, was issued for the return of the pertinent frequencies to ABS-CBN Corporation, which effectively allowed the resumption of ABS-CBN operations and the return of the facilities and premises of ABS-CBN. 6, the reacquisition of ABS-CBN by the Lopez family is also confirmed by the following. A, agreement to arbitrate, dated October 6, 1987. The principal purpose of this agreement is not to establish the right of ownership of the Lopez family over ABS-CBN because this has been correctly and previously acknowledged by the Republic of the Philippines in the prior actions of PCGG and the Office of the President. The main objectives of the agreement to arbitrate are 1, to effect the full return of the facilities and premises of ABS-CBN by PTB4 as the government television channel, and 2, to settle the monetary claims of ABS-CBN for the government's use and operation of ABS-CBN's facilities, equipment, and premises, more particularly by the government channel PTB4. Although the whereas clause referred to the two previous requests as backgrounder only for the return of the ABS-CBN's operations, facilities, and premises, eventually, the arbitral proceedings dealt on the return of PTB4 of ABS-CBN facilities and premises. It was occupying and the accrued rentals. This factual circumstance was confirmed by the Supreme Court in Gascon versus Joker Arroyo when it narrated that on 17 April 1986, the Lopez family, through counsel, ex-Senator Lorenzo Tañada, requested President Aquino to order the return of the Lopez family of TV stations 2 and 4. On 13 June 1986, the Lopez family made a written request to the PCGG for the return of TV station Channel 2. On 18 June 1986, the PCGG approved the return of TV station Channel 2 to the Lopez family. This was made on October 18, 1986. I'm still quoting the Supreme Court decision, Your Honor. Thereafter, the Lopez family requested for the return of TV station Channel 4. Acting upon the request, Respondent Executive Secretary by the authority of the President entered into with the ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation, represented by its President, Eugenio Lopez Jr., an agreement to arbitrate. So according to the Supreme Court's narration of facts, what was subjected to the arbitral proceedings was the return to ABS-CBN of TV station Channel 4. Why is this so? Because previously, Channel 2 was already returned to the Lopez family. The latter narration confirmed that subsequently, the request of ABS-CBN Broadcast Corporation was limited to the return of TV station Channel 4 or the facilities being used by PTB4, and the import of the agreement to arbitrate was for the full return by PTB4 of the facilities and premises of ABS-CBN, because the return and operations of ABS-CBN over Channel 2 had been previously effected. Finally, however, the arbitral decision was limited to the money claims of ABS-CBN because during the pendency of the arbitral proceedings, PTB4 gradually returned the facilities and premises of ABS-CBN, which it was then using and occupying. B. The decision of the Supreme Court in Gascon versus Joker Arroyo, wherein the High Court ruled that the agreement to arbitrate is legal and valid. C. The grant of provisional authority by the National Telecommunications Commission, NTC, in favor of ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation. D. The final decision, the arbitral decision, dated May 23, 1995, approving the compromise agreement between the Republic of the Philippines and ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation, under which the Republic obligated itself to pay ABS-CBN the amount of $97,500,000, payable in a non-cash basis like tax credit for the use of the government of the facilities and premises of ABS-CBN. With respect to this arbitral decision, let me underscore that the arbitral decision confirmed and approved the compromise agreement. This is so because the compromise agreement should precede the arbitral decision. Otherwise, if the arbitral decision would be before the compromise agreement, then that is the time when you can say that we are placing the cart before the host. E. Decision dated June 23, 1995 of the Makati Regional Court confirming and approving the subject compromise agreement referred to in the earlier arbitral decision. 7. No challenge, petition, or complaint against the aforesaid proceedings confirmatory of the return of ABS-CBN to the Lopez family has been interposed up to now. 8. Any challenge to the reacquisition by the Lopez family of ABS-CBN has been put to rest. Let me underscore that, has been put to rest when Republic Act number 7966 was enacted on March 30, 1995, granting ABS-CBN Broadcasting Corporation a legislative franchise for 25 years. And 9, verily, distinguished Joint Chairman, the ownership of the Lopez family of ABS-CBN is a non-issue before the Joint Committee hearings. Thank you, Joint Chairman.
Maraming salamat po, Congressman Lagman. At bago ko po kilalanin si Congressman PD Barsaga, ang kahuli-huli ang mag-i-interpolate sa issue po ng pagkakabalik ng ABS-CBN sa Lopez family, ay pagbibigyan po natin ng 2 minuto upang maipagpatuloy po kanina ni Attorney Almendra Lopez yung kanya pong pahayag. Attorney Jake, the chairman recognized Attorney Jake Almendras Lopez.
Yes, maraming salamat po. I was trying to explain the debts with DBP, which was raised by Johnny Ponce Enrile, when I was interrupted by Congressman Marcoleta. Anyway, whatever it is, probably I would like to plead to the members of the House, the 300 members of the House, about the franchise of ABS-CBN. The franchise is not just Gabi Lopez or the PDRs. You know, ABS has 11,000 employees and 630 stars and artists. We are more or less the most popular station or network in the country. We have a payroll of close to ₱1 billion every month. In effect, what I'm saying is that we are contributing to the country. Maybe I should mention here, Mr. Chairman, that the Lopez family have contributed for 60 years for the development of the country, of industry. This industry started with just 50 cents. We now have more than 20 million sets. In a big, big way, that was the efforts of the Lopez family. And also, let me mention probably here that there are 2 stations now in the country, major stations, Channel 7 and ABS-CBN. If you were to take out ABS, in effect, you're depriving the viewing public half of the potential entertainment and news hours of ABS. It is not only the Lopez family that will be affected. You're talking of more than 11,000 employees. You're talking of the viewing public. You know, we have we have operations in 5 continents. We only don't have operations in the Arctic Ocean and Antarctica. Of course, it's very thin, but we are in that area. If you close us, that will be closed also. We have what you call the knowledge channel. That is a very very important public service we're providing. I don't know if I should say it, but Knowledge Channel was even cited and awarded by the United Nations as one of the most effective public service programs in this country. It was not mentioned to me, but I did not rather say it, but it was mentioned to me that the first cousin of Gabi Lopez, Rina Lopez, who operates or manages a Knowledge Channel, went to New York, was presented the citation, and she gave an explanation of a Knowledge Channel. What I'm saying is that this ABS is not just Channel 2 and DCMM. We're talking of ABS Foundation. This foundation is the first responder or one of the first responders to any disasters in this country. I would imagine that it's even faster than the government. I remember that the first public service program that we had was the Ruby Tower disaster, when there was an earthquake long before martial law. And continuously we have provided service to this period. I mention this all because, ABS-CBN is fighting for its life. I think it is my responsibility to, as a senior member of this company, to explain to the members of this Congress that really I think we deserve the renewal of our franchise. And that if you don't renew our franchise, you're going to deprive the public with so much entertainment, news, and more or less the building of culture. We have what you call the Bantay Bata. We have Bantay Bata. We have the Pasig River, and we have medical missions. What I'm saying is that Henny Lopez was the one who coined the term in the service of the Filipino. Before that, our slogan was ABS-CBN, the largest network. But it was just talking of broadcast. When you talk of in the service of the Filipino, that includes all of the public services that we render. So I plead to the members of Congress that give ABS-CBN a chance to show its worth and contribution to the country. By the way, maybe I should mention that ABS-CBN has contributed a number of members of its the alumnus to public service. We have lots of alumnus who are governors, mayors, councilors, congressmen, senators. We even have an alumnus who's a vice president. For that matter, Mr. Chairman, maybe I should mention here that President Duterte used to have a program at ABS. He had program for more than 15 years. I think the name of the program was Gikan sa Basa para sa Masa. There were several stations in Davao, but he chose ABS-CBN. We thank him for the
Congressman Remulla.
Appreciate the remarks of the esteemed senior man of ABS-CBN, but I think that his remarks are really appreciated, but we cannot afford the time anymore.
Can you give me another 2 minutes? We're fighting for our life. You have all of the time that you want, but we want to give to inform the other members of the assembly of what is the value of ABS-CBN. Anyway, if your group really feels that you have to oppose, you have to prevent the presentation of the case of ABS, then I leave it to you. But anyway, my plea is this, that Congress recognize the value of ABS-CBN, recognize the contribution of the 11,000 employees of ABS-CBN, and the contribution of ABS-CBN to the television industry in general. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Maraming salamat po, Attorney Almendras Lopez. And next to interpolate, nanghingi po ito ng 2 minuto.
Mr. Chairman, just
Yes,
before we continue,
Vice Chairman Defensor.
just an open invitation, Mr. Chairman, to the Attorney Jake
Almendras.
Almendras,
Almeda.
Attorney Jake Almeda, for him to intervene anytime, Mr. Chairman, because I think the information, the experience that he has had, the history that's shared with ABS-CBN, that alongside all our hearings of the other topics, he is most welcome to intervene and to interject, because I think, Mr. Chairman, it is correct that ABS-CBN should answer for ABS-CBN. Ang akin po, mas maganda na talaga na ang sumasagot ay mula na po sa kampo ng ABS-CBN kaysa po yung, hindi naman po sa ano, pero may ibang third party ang nagsasalita para sa ABS-CBN. At ako po yung nagpapasalamat, yung mga binabanggit ni Attorney Jake Almeida mula sa kasaysayan hanggang sa sitwasyon ngayon. Welcome po at any given time, Mr. Katigbak, and to the ABS-CBN group. Kung papasok po si Mr. Almendras, all he has to, Almeida is to inform our chairman. Welcome po siya mag-react. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all.
Thank you for that wonderful insight, Vice Chairman Defensor. Bago ko po kilalahanin si Congressman PD Barsaga, may nakiusap lang po na magpasok ng ilang katanungan at binigyan po siya ng ating chairman ng 2 minuto. Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, you're now recognized. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman? May I proceed, Mr. Chairman?
Of course, Congressman Rodriguez.
Well, first, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to appeal to the chair if we can be given more time. Other members have been able to go on a second and third round. This is my only second round that I can have on this issue. And I would like to take advantage of the presence of Attorney Belcisi because he is an actual participant, being the secretary of the Board of Arbitrators. And the issue here is really also the Board of Arbitration. Can you give me more time, Mr. Chairman, so that we can be able to thresh out the allegation?
Hearing resumed. Congressman Rodriguez, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me, Mr. Chairman?
Opo, naririnig po kayo.
Thank you. So may we request Attorney Belcisi to be on Zoom now.
Attorney C, nandyan pa po ba kayo? Attorney Belcisi.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm still here.
Sige po, Congressman Rodriguez, ipagpatuloy niyo na po ang inyong pagtatanong kay
Thank you,
Attorney C.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney C. Paniera, can you again tell us the members of the Board of Arbitrators? Of the one that we had rulings
The
on
members,
1985? Yes.
the members of the Board of Arbitrators are the former Justice Amorfina Melencio Herrera as the chair. Then the nominee of the government was then Government Corporate Counsel Oscar Garcia, and then the nominee of ABS-CBN was Attorney Andres Bautista.
Thank you. Who was counsel in the proceedings of the Republic, and who was counsel for ABS-CBN?
I could not remember it, Congressman, but I would like to ask for more time to peruse the documents.
To refresh your memory.
Secure.
Yeah. To refresh your memory, was it not the OSG who was counsel for the Republic, because always under the administrative code, the OSG is the lawyer of the Republic. Can you confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
So the OSG was the representative, the counsel. Well, the nominee is Attorney Garcia. The counsel is the OSG for the Republic, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And who is the counsel for ABS-CBN? Attorney Rendon?
If I remember it correctly, it was Attorney Carl Miranda.
Okay. How was the participation of Attorney Rendon?
No, actually, Attorney Rendor was my former schoolmate.
No, but
I could not
He did not-
recall his participation in the.
okay, I will go to that later. I would like to know how long, because you were the secretary of the Board of Arbitrators. When did the arbitration start and when did it finish?
Sorry, Your Honor, but I could not remember it because it was it happened so many years ago. I really have to refresh my memory and then see the document, Your Honor.
Could you tell this committee how many hearings were conducted, or you cannot also recall that?
Cannot recall. Because I was only invited just an hour ago, Your Honor.
Okay.
So I'm sorry.
So,
If I will be given reasonable time to peruse all the documents, if I will be able to secure those documents.
were you able to receive a copy of the decision itself that you recorded?
Yes, it was emailed to me just this morning. The
Do you have a copy of that
the
decision? Can you take a look at the decision?
It's in the computer. It could hardly be read, Your Honor, because it's actually
Could you remember that
so blurred.
Could you remember, Attorney C, that about 97 million was adjudged by the arbitral, by the decision confirmed by the RTC of Makati? 97 million was adjudged in favor of the ABS-CBN.
I have yet to look at the document.
Mr. Chairman,
Your Honor.
I think we
I'm
have
so
to give time, Mr. Chairman. So could we request that we have to recall Attorney C, because what is an issue here is whether the proceedings of the Board of Arbitrators were transparent, had procedural due process, and all the parties were given the chance to present their sides, the Republic and ABS-CBN. Could we therefore request that she be recalled so that I can continue my questions regarding the Board of Proceedings and the Board of Arbitrators? Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Congressman Rodriguez, earlier there was already a request for that from Attorney C to submit the official documents. We have documents submitted by ABS-CBN, but we would like to come from the Board of Arbitrators, Your Honor. So yes, your request is duly noted, and we have already ordered the committee secretariat. Could please.
Secondly, Mr. Chairman, since it was stated by Attorney C that the counsel for the Republic was the Office of the Solicitor General, can we request also the records from the Office of the Solicitor General being the counsel for the Republic?
The committee secretary is directed to request the documents pertaining to the arbitration agreement, compromise agreement, and other pertinent documents relating to ABS-CBN and the Republic of the Philippines. So ordered, Comsec.
Thank you. I'd just like to now ask Commissioner Agbayani. Can we have Commissioner Agbayani of the PCGG?
Commissioner Agbayani is recognized.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. kindly unmute your, we cannot hear you.
Good afternoon, Congressman
Thank you.
Rodriguez.
You stated earlier that the PCGG did not receive the rentals that were due to the Benedicto Group. Would you confirm that?
Based on our records, Your Honor.
And do you also agree, because I'm sure you have read the arbitral decision regarding the payment of rentals? Are you aware of what was stated there in that in the decision?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I have not read. I
Well,
don't have a copy, but I just heard it.
The decision was that there should be 97 million plus to be paid for ABS-CBN by the Republic. Are you aware that the Republic also secured, in terms of compensation, legal compensation, which became an agreement in this compromise agreement, that 52 million was paid, was offset, was by terms of offsetting. The Republic received 52 million to deduct from the 97 million. In other words, my question is, was it not that 52 million was in that decision adjudged to be in favor of the Republic? And in that particular decision, the Republic represented the Benedicto Group, the RPN and BBC. And in that particular case, therefore, the government was compensated under the lease agreement. That is paragraph 3. Would you therefore say that you have been paid, the government? Is it not that PCGG is part of the whole of the Republic of the Philippines?
It is an agency of the Republic.
And so therefore,
it has its own jurisdiction.
correct. And therefore, that particular claim, the lease agreement rentals, were now, because it was given by the by compromise agreement between PCGG and Mr. Benedicto, those rental agreements were represented by the Republic. You were represented by the Republic because in that agreement, there has to be an offset of the 97 million by the 252 million to the Republic, parenthesis, RPN and BBC, which has been given, which has been turned over to you. Is that correct?
Not entirely correct, Mr. Your Honor, because the PCGG has its own jurisdiction. When it involves sequestered and surrendered asset, then it has to make its participation there. Unfortunately, in this arbitration between the Republic and ABS-CBN, assuming it involved the sequestered asset of BBC, I think it is just appropriate that PCGG should have been part of the compromise agreement.
But clearly, it is the Republic of the Philippines. Are you not part of the Republic of the Philippines, the whole government, the Republic of the Philippines, that represented you together with the OSG and OGCC at the time?
We are.
You do not admit that there was in fact payment of 52 million to because of the lease agreement.
Yes, Your Honor, we are part of the Republic, but the asset which has been the subject matter of the arbitration was being represented by another agency, which has no involvement in the sequestration and in the acquisition ultimately of the sequestered asset.
Well, I disagree because that is already the Republic, which is already representing the Republic, being represented the entire Republic, which includes the PCGG. Unless you have a very strained, interpretation that you are not part of it. This is the entire Republic negotiating with ABS-CBN, correct? So it's not true that there is no payment because there is an offsetting of 52 million. Is that correct? Because you cannot insist of your own separate compromise arbitration between you because you are represented by the Republic. So, Mr. Chairman, with that, just to clarify, because the commissioner was saying that there was no payment done given because of the lease agreement of ABS with Benedicto. No, it is part of the compromise agreement that 52 million will be offsetted with the 97 million. So I hope that you can study the whole system of government, Commissioner, so that you will learn that you are part of the Republic. And it is also being represented by OSG, who is also your lawyer, correct? The OSG is your lawyer, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor. My point
Yes.
is when a sequestered asset or a surrendered asset is involved in another case, the PCGG, who has primary jurisdiction over this asset, should be appropriately represented. You cannot, I mean, the PCGG cannot be bound by another agency of the government, like a local government or a Department of Finance, although we belong to the same agency. What I mean to say, we have our own accountabilities, responsibilities, and jurisdiction. Now, in this case, Your Honor, as I have said, we do not have a record on any involvement of PCGG in the disposal of the sequestered asset. Why was it disposed by another agency?
Because
That is the question.
because it is the Republic. It is the Republic with the OSG, also your lawyer. And so therefore,
Yes,
I
Your
will just
Honor,
tell you that,
I-
would you admit that 52 million was paid by, through offset by ABS-CBN to the Republic, representing, in parentheses in that decision, representing RPN and BBC? Would you admit that?
I'm not aware because I have not
Okay.
read the
Yes,
decision.
but it is very clear. It has been stated in this particular hearing. So with that,
I submit-
Mr. Chairman,
I
with my
submit, Your Honor. Thank
reservation
you.
that we are going to again recall Attorney C to show that the arbitral tribunal really had many hearings and there were many witnesses that were brought into the hearing, and that both parties were fully represented by counsels, and that the arbitral compromise agreement is the arbitral award in our civil code, and in all arbitration, all parties to arbitration, Mr. Chairman, can decide that instead of going to litigate all the way to get an arbitral award, they can adopt a compromise agreement, which is in itself already the arbitral award. And this arbitral award became a decision fully recognized by the courts. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the time and your consideration. Thank you to both chairmen of this committee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Rodriguez. Maraming salamat po. Ngayon naman po itatawagin natin mula po sa Dasmariñas ang malapit na kaibigan ni Attorney Jake Almeida.
Hindi na maka-answer si C.
If you can kindly mute the mic of the Honorable Rodriguez. The Honorable PD Barsaga.
Maraming salamat, Chairman Defensor. Unang-una, nais kong maglinaw lamang sa mga puntos na sinabi ni Commissioner Agbayani. Commissioner Agbayani, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Base sa mga statement mo kanina, ating nalinawan na walang rate of sequestration na in-issue ang pamahalaan ni Cory Aquino, not even Secretary Ponce Enrile, laban sa mga pag-aari ng ABS-CBN. Tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Sa katunayan, alam natin na pagkatapos ng HR Revolution, possession ng mga properties ng ABS-CBN, specifically Channel 2, ay nakuha ng Lopez family. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At sapagkat nakuha na, walang rate of sequestration na in-issue. Para malinawan natin, si Secretary Ponce Enrile, pati na ang PCGG. Tama po.
Tama po yan. Pero pwede po bang akong magpaliwanag ng maiksi
Pwede ba
lamang?
ang pakisagot mo lang tanong?
Tama po.
Sinabi mo rin kanina na noong March 2, 1986, nag-issue ng sequestration si Secretary Juan Ponce Enrile.
Tama po, Your Honor.
At ang mga...
March 1 po, March 1.
Ha? March 1.
March 1.
At ang rate of sequestration ay covered ang mga properties na pag-aari ni Ginoong Roberto Benedicto, katulad ng BBC, Banahaw Broadcasting Corporation, IBC International Broadcasting Corporation at yung RPN 9. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
At kailan nalip yung writ of sequestration involving the properties of Roberto Benedicto na subject ng sequestration order ni Secretary Enrile?
Noong pong nagkaroon ng compromise agreement at inapprove po ng Sandigan Bayan noong October 2, 1992.
So yung compromise agreement, iba yon sa compromise agreement na resulta ng arbitration proceedings na ang sabi mo kanina, hindi mo alam yung compromise agreement ng sequestration proceedings.
Iba po yun.
Iba po yun.
Iba po yun.
Sinasabi mo kanina, sapagkat ang mga properties ni Roberto Benedicto ay under sequestration, as a rule, walang makakagamit subject to the final determination of the issue pertaining to ownership. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po yun. Ang may control doon sa properties na yon ay ang PCGG bilang isang conservator.
Ulit po.
Ang pwede lang pong gumamit sa property na yon ay ang PCGG bilang isang conservator.
Okay. At yung pag-ari ni Roberto Benedicto, subject matter of writ of sequestration, nagkaroon ba ng final determination kung sino ang may tamang pag-aari?
Ang naging may-ari po noon ay nangyari ang determination noong na-approve na po yung compromise agreement noong October 2, 1992, whereby the Roberto S. Benedicto vested ownership of his companies in favor of the government.
Sa madaling sabi, tama ba ang aking impresyon na yung mga properties ni Roberto Benedicto, subject matter ng writ of sequestration, base sa compromise agreement, ay sinoole sa Republic of the Philippines by virtue of the compromise agreement dated October 1992.
Tama po. Yung ownership ang binigay ng compromise agreement sa Republic of the Philippines.
And because of that compromise agreement, katulad ng provision sa bawat compromise agreement, the parties are waiving their civil as well as criminal liability, which one may have over the other. Tama po ba?
That was one of the stipulations in the compromise agreement.
At sapagkat yun naman compromise agreement is not contrary to law, nor to equity or for any reason, inapruban niya ng ating Sandigan Bayan.
Pati po ng Supreme Court.
Pati ng Korte Suprema.
Opo.
So malinaw na ngayon, ang writ of sequestration ay yung pag-aari lamang ni Benedicto at walang writ of sequestration insofar as Channel 2 or other properties of ABS-CBN are concerned. Tama po ba yun, Commissioner?
Wala pong writ of sequestration against ABS-CBN Corporation.
Sequestration ang ABS-CBN, September 14, 1986, nasa kanila na ang posesyon ng ABS-CBN kung kaya't nakapag-eri na sila noong September 14, 1986. O hindi mo alam yon?
Tama po, sila na po ang nagkaroon ng possession noong mga equipment ng radio and television stations ng BBC based on the order of PCGG. But their possession is merely temporary, subject to the final adjudication in civil case number 34.
Mr. Chairman, maaari po bang makapagsalita at makagawa ng isang final statement?
Yes, go ahead, Honorable Barsaga. And after that, a short manifestation by the Honorable Vilago. Congressman Barsaga, you're recognized.
Well, unang-una, alam ng bawat Pilipino na tayo ay nanonood sa ABS-CBN. Sa katunayan, kahit na ako ay isang abogado, nanonood ako ng mga palabas ng ABS-CBN. TV Patrol, yung kanilang mga soap opera during my pastime period. Pero ang pinag-uusapan po natin dito, hindi yung mga palabas ng ABS-CBN, hindi po yung emosyonal na epekto sa ating mamamayan, kundi ang pinag-uusapan po ay yung legalidad at kung mayroong paglabag sa ating saligang batas at sa prangkisa na inisyu ng Kongreso ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Alam din po ng lahat na nagkaroon tayo ng EDSA revolution. At base sa dokumento, as early as April 17, 1986, nagpadala na ng sulat ang dating Senador Lorenzo Tañada kay Ginang Cory Aquino para bawiin ang mga pag-aari ng ABS-CBN na kinuha ng panahon ng batas militar. Ang sabi nga po ni Ginang Cory Aquino, we have to be transparent. Kaya nagkaroon ng kasunduan ang ABS-CBN at ang Philippine government para magkaroon ng arbitration agreement. Ito pong arbitration agreement ay ginawa noong January 6, 1987. Ang pumirma po on behalf of the Republic of the Philippines ay yung ating Executive Secretary at the time, si Joker Arroyo, and on the part of ABS-CBN, it was Eugenio Lopez. At base po rito sa agreement to arbitrate, ito po ang nakalagay. Now therefore, the parties have agreed as follows, that they submit the claims of ABS-CBN for the return of the television and radio stations of ABS-CBN to the Board of Administrators composed of a chairman and 2 members for the final adjudication and entitlement, reserving into a future date to be agreed upon by the parties the submission of other claims related thereto. Ang kinatawa ng ating pamahalaan, si Atty. Catalino Macaraig on the part of ABS, si Atty. Pastol de Rosario, at sapagkat ito ay arbitration proceedings, there must be a third party, and the third party was the former Justice Vicente Abad Santos. At alam na po natin ang nangyari. Hindi kaagad natapos ang proceedings sapagkat kinwestiyon ni Chito Gaston the validity of the arbitration agreement. At ang sabi naman ng Korte Suprema, valid yung pagkakaroon ng arbitration agreement sapagkat during that time, President Cory Aquino is exercising both legislative and executive powers. Sa madaling sabi, pagkatapos ng desisyon ng Korte Suprema, itunuloy ang arbitration proceedings. And because of that arbitration proceedings, finally, nagkaroon na ng desisyon ang arbitration board. Ang desisyon ng arbitration board ay naganap.
Payment of 95 million.
Ang desisyon ay May 23, 1995. Yun po ang desisyon at ang mga pumirma nito ay si Justice Melencio Herrera, si Oscar Garcia, representing the Republic of the Philippines, at si Andres Bautista, representing ABS-CBN. Actually, compromise agreement po ang nangyari. Sa madaling sabi, nagkasundo ang dalawang partido, ang Republika ng Pilipinas at ang ABS-CBN, kung paano matatapos yung kanilang arbitration. So there was no decision. Nagkakaroon lamang po ng decision kung sakasakaling hindi nagkakasundo. So this was a compromise agreement. At base dito sa compromise agreement, the Republic will pay ABS-CBN the amount of 97,500,000. Actually, hindi naman po payment to. Kasi ito ang sinasabi natin sa batas that this is a mutual set-off or compensation. Both parties, Republic of the Philippines on one hand, and ABS-CBN on the other hand, in their respective rights, ay both debtors and creditors. May pagkakautang ang Republika ng Pilipinas sa ABS-CBN, in which case debtor ang Republic of the Philippines, at ang ABS-CBN naman ay meron ding pagkakautang sa ating pamahalaan. Meron ding credit o kredito ang ating pamahalaan against ABS-CBN at merong kredito rin ang ABS-CBN against the Republic. Nakalagay po rito, 97,500,000 ang babayaran ng national government. In which case, yun po ang pagkakautang ng Republika ng Pilipinas, 97,500,000. At the same time, mayroon din naman pagkakautang ang ABS-CBN sa Republika ng Pilipinas. Ano ang unang pagkakautang? Number 1, 13,291,000, representing the total tax liability of ABS-CBN in CAGR case number 29557 shall be set up or deducted against the payment or obligation of the Republic of the Philippines. Yun po ang tinatawag nating unang component ng compromise agreement. Pangalawa, the amount of 54,294,867.55, yun po ang babayaran ng ABS-CBN sa Republika ng Pilipinas because ABS-CBN has a lease contract with the Republic regarding the properties of RPN9 and BBC. Yun po ang nakalagay dito at yun po ang sinasabi ni Commissioner Agbayani that there was a lease contract. At pangatlo, kung ano yung natitirang 29,913,737.45, yun naman po ay i-credit sa mga taxes na ibabayad or chargeable against ABS-CBN in the future. Nais ko pong bigyan ng pansin at bigyan ng diin na itong compromise agreement ay ginawa o nagkaroon ng katuparan base sa agreement to arbitrate. Pero kung ating pong titingnan yung agreement to arbitrate, yun po ay ginawa para pag-usapan kung magkano ang claim or whatever damages regarding ABS-CBN Channel 2. Pero dito po sa final agreement, hindi po na nabanggit yun. Kaya ang sinasabi po natin, up to now, there is no official document evidencing the turnover in a proper manner of ABS-CBN Corporation. Kaya nga lamang po ang aking sinasabi. May sinasabi tayo, napakatagal na po nito. Talaga po, matagal na to. Nangyari pa to right after the EDSA Revolution in 1986. 34 na taon na po ang nakaraan. At ang sinasabi ng ibang abogado, prescription has already set in. Ngunit nais ko pong ipaalaala na base sa probisyon ng Civil Code, Article 1108, Paragraph 4, to be explicit, acquisitive and prescription, although it runs against juridical persons, ang exception is that there is no prescription against the government or the state or any of its political subdivision. Ang ibig pong sabihin, kahit na po 50 taon ang nakakaraan, kung mayroong karapatan ng ating pamahalaan na habulin ng isang bagay, pwede niyang gawin at marami na pong desisyon dito ang Korte Suprema ng Pilipinas. At ito lamang po ang aking masasabi. I am not against ABS-CBN Corporation. I am not in favor of ABS-CBN Corporation. Ang pinag-aaralan ko lang po rito ay tama ba ang naging proseso ng pagbibigay ng ating pamahalaan sa ABS-CBN Corporation right after the EDSA Revolution. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, the Honorable Barsaga. I now recognize the Honorable Villago.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, may we request the Makati RTC Branch 65 to produce the original copy of the 1995 RTC decision?
This was the agreement that was approved by the Makati Court. Is that correct, the Honorable Villago?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, the committee secretary is directed to avail of the documents which was approved by the Makati Regional Trial Court pertaining to the arbitration agreement, compromise agreement, or any other documents pertaining to the Republic of the Philippines and the ABS-CBN agreement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.